Concepts of the progressive curriculum theory include active learning through experiences, independent creative problem solving, social participation in a democratic life, developing goals through the evolution of child's understanding, and inquiry and critical reflection.
Progressive schools, our students play a vital role in helping to design the curriculum, formulate questions, as well as seek out and they create their answers.
Problem solving. Progressive education aspires to meet every student as an individual and engage both intellectual as well as social intelligence.
Progressive education established environments where civics and democracy were embedded into school life, reflecting the larger society.
A child's own instincts will help develop the material that is presented to them. These instincts also form the basis of their knowledge, with everything building upon it.
Progressive education tends to be organized around problems, projects, and questions rather than around lists of facts.
Here of the progressive theory and progressive education. We have here myself, Tori Fulton, and we will have Sherry and Miss Candide. Dewey and his fellow educational progressives drew from the work of German philosopher Friedrich Froebel and Swiss educator Johann Pestalozzi. And basically what they were talking about was educating the whole child, and wherein learning moved beyond just subject matter but also really focused on ultimately the child and rested upon the needs and interests of the child, tending to both the pupil's head, the heart, as well as they believe for the real business of schooling. And they searched for an empirical and rational science of education that would incorporate these foundational principles. Now, as you see, we have here Ms. Sherry, and she'll be directing us towards Mr. Dewey, who in general, he was very important to the progressive movement. He was focused on the relationship between thinking and doing. He believed in his education philosophy could equip the child between problem-solving skills and which would require them to overcome obstacles between a given and direct desired set of circumstances. According to Dewey, education was not simply a means of the future, but insisted represented a full life unto itself. He was dissatisfied with schooling, the traditional forms of schooling, because it was very rote, and he really wanted his child to experience something different. So him and his wife established a school laboratory at the University of Chicago. That's another thing that you're going to hear is Chicago, the University of Chicago, in which they could elevate new approaches to teaching.
Get attention. Classroom must be student-centered. We want students to be independent, not totally dependent on teachers to problem solve and critical think. We must make it happen.
Thank you, Sarah Blaine, for talking about the quote on student-centered and independence. I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this quote about the democratic classroom for progressivism. Students should be a part of a community. Community is an extension of the classroom. Places centered on class, disability, ethnicity, gender, race, and sexual orientation.
Sarah and Mitt, your viewpoint is refreshing. It is important we look at things from a child's perspective. Metacognition, critical reflection about content, engage in inquiry.
I am President Barack Obama. Dewey would not like subject matter learned without students problem solving, nor should we pressure them or create a stressful environment.
No matter what, we are a democracy, and progressive education is a metaphor for this country. Republicans and Democrats come together to embrace a change that is student-centered.
So tell me what you have learned about a progressive classroom, Tori.
Well, I must say I retract my fluff statement that it is exactly what I want a classroom to look like. That I need students to engage, group discussion, peer sharing, reflect, and evaluate.
Well, I am slowly getting you to open up your systematic head.
I thought about having students engage in a writing prompt, so they can name one environmental issue they know and explain everything they know about it.
Wow, you're allowing students to guide their learning.
Also, in a group discussion, they can use a QR code to choose one environmental factor that they think is the biggest issue. Within their group, they research how it occurred and Within the group discussion, they can discuss who and what are the biggest contributors to the issue and decide on what would happen if it continues. They can develop a solution.
You're really creating a student-centered classroom. Also, they are thinking about the community.
Additionally, have them peer share. Create a presentation for the local city council and community and share their findings and ideas. They should answer questions from audience.
It appears that you have made them part of the democratic society, without it being an add-on. They are concerned society issues, making them members of the broader community.
Candid and Sherry both emphasize that they reflect and evaluate. They can keep a reflective journal and entries daily. They should make connections between what they thought and what they learned. Sherry was excited to have students reflect. They can create new questions, write about group dynamics, and write views on lesson and their lives.
Sounds like you all have the progressive spirit.
Candid emphasized the need to have them evaluate on an ongoing basis. Some say Marzana would be proud that they should add aspects of their project to their electronic portfolio and they should include a narrative of what they learned.
Ori, I think we have made you a progressive.
Well, if they engage, group discuss, peer share, reflect, and evaluate, then I want you to sign me up.